Ballpark Cam taking us to St. Petersburg, second of a four-game series in the AL East. David Price making his season debut for the Red Sox against Blake Snell of the Rays. Red Sox and Rays tonight, a day after Chris Sale had an outstanding game. Bullpen, though, lost it for the Red Sox on day number one. Joining us now, even with that, we give him credit, Alex Cora, new manager for the Red Sox. Alex, thanks for joining us today.
No, I'm alive. I'm here, so I'm good. I'm good talking to you guys.
It's one game. Alex, it's one game. We know that. I know yesterday, opening day loss, it happens for a variety of reasons, but the difference is now that you lived through it, Alex, between being the manager and, say, last year when it was A.J. Hinch.
That A.J. had to talk about it last year, and now I have to talk about it, not only for TV, the newspapers, for everybody. So I'm the voice of the Red Sox, like A.J. is the voice of the Houston Astros.
So, yeah, what is that like to feel that responsibility? What differences did you feel? How, I'm just wondering for you personally, how different is that?
No, it's a lot different. Last year with the Astros, the coaches, they're not allowed to talk to the media, so that helped in that end. But here, obviously, I'm the voice of the team, so whatever happened during the game, I'm the one responsible to tell the fans and the media, obviously, what happened, and that's a big difference. While you're managing the game, obviously, you don't mind, you don't care about that. You're thinking about doing what you're supposed to do to manage the game. But then after the game, you only have 10 minutes to think about it and go from there and tell the people what happened during the game.
Alex, again, yesterday, obviously, 6 runs come in the 8th. Again, we examined strategy here and use of the bullpen quite a bit. But what did you and your staff take away from that? And that Craig Kimbrell was not used there. It got away from you. When you look back and do your own self-evaluation, what did you take away from it?
Now, the whole thing with Craig is where we at right now. As you guys know, his spring training was a lot different. He had to deal with a personal matter in Boston, so his spring training was not the same. So to bring him in that situation yesterday is not fair for him. I think physically he feels he's in the right place. We know where he's at, so we got to be careful with the way we use him. We're going to manage 162 games, not only one. So his health is more important, actually, than bases loaded with one out in the 8th inning of the first game of the season. We felt we had the right matchups. The guys didn't execute it. Hey, it's going to happen. It's 162 games. They're going to have good days and bad days, and yesterday wasn't a good one for us.
Alex, so you're saying Craig, was he not available, or you didn't want to put him in a highly stressful situation?
No, the only way we're going to use him yesterday was for a clean inning. And we're going to keep talking to him about it until he feels that he's ready to go, more than 3 outs. We'll stay with that. We talked to him yesterday before the game, and we all came to the conclusion that's the best way to use him early in the season because of the situation he went in, and we're going to respect that, and we're going to take care of him.
Once you get into the middle of the season, what's your general philosophy on it? Because you have a real relief ace there. How would you like to utilize him once he's all ready to go?
Now, that conversation already started early in spring training. There's a guy that he's going to get probably the biggest 3 outs of the game, and if we get the middle of the order in the 8th inning, most likely Craig is going to be part of that. It all depends what we feel is a high leverage situation. For me, it might be different like you, BK, but we know this is a guy that he can get 3 outs regardless of the inning, and we're gonna start using him the way we feel that he can contribute to get 27 outs.
Alex, you were there with the Astros, the new wave of thinking and the new wave, especially all throughout baseball now, of hiring. You have hired Ramon Vasquez. Tell us what he does for your club.
He's a guy that he's going to filter the information we get from the front office for our analytic department and present it to the players. He's a guy that he watches a lot of video. He has a lot of input in what we do defensively. So it's a good way for the front office and the players to connect. He's the guy in the middle, and the guys respect him because he has, he played in the big leagues, and at the same time they understand he's been in this situation before. He was in the middle of that revolution, quote unquote, in San Diego last year. Now he's with us, and he's going to help us out to take that next step.
So there's use for a strategist. I see that all with different teams. Use for a guy to bring all that information and explain it to the players, or liaison. What is that exactly?
Well, liaison is the right word. As you know, my first language is Spanish, so somewhere else, I avoid so I don't look bad on TV. But this is a guy that, defensive strategy. Let's talk about that. This is a team that last year wasn't that aggressive, moving guys all over the infield. And Ramon last year with the Padres, he was in the middle of that. So when guys that they ask questions while we're doing that, we show them why we're moving into those spots. It's not only the charge. This guy hits the ball in the 4.5 hole. It's about your range, exit velocity, the guy on the mound, and that's where we came to this conclusion that you should be, let's say, behind the second base instead of playing straight up at shortstop. So there's a lot of questions from the players, and he's the guy that is in the middle answering questions. And so far, so good. I think the guys adjusted during spring training, and throughout the season, they're going to keep getting better.
There we go. David Price going for you tonight. Alex Cora of the Red Sox. Alex, appreciate you coming out after day one. Best of luck, and we'll talk to you again.
Thank you.
All right, take care.